name is Tim Garrett. I'm from LabStrong. Today we're going to install the Fi-Streem 3 distillation system. This one is the 8 liter per hour Fi-Streem 3. The 4 liter per hour bidistiller has a double boiler system just like this one. The only difference between this one and the Fi-Streem 3 4 liter per hour is it's about half the size and it only has one boiler, condenser, and constant level device. Now first thing we're going to do is remove this from the box, and then on the top of the box there's an accessory pack which you do not want to throw away because there's a bunch of accessories in there that you're going to need to keep. This is the accessory box that comes with each still. It's at the very top of the box. Before you get to the still, you want to make sure you do not throw this away. And this is what's in the accessory box. You're going to get 3 pieces of tubing. This is for your inlet, 2 inlets and a drain. You get distillate tubing. This is your J bracket to mount the still to the wall. Then you get your float switch, which is your automatic operation for your tank. Then you get 2 glass dispensing connectors to bring your distillate out to your tank. And this is your cleaning funnel. The plastic Y and the plastic T piece are used for the pre-treatment. Now we're going to remove the door from the 8 liter per hour Fi-Streem 3 system. The Fi-Streem 3 4 liter per hour system, single distilled, has the same type of door, it's just a little smaller. So you're just basically going to lift up, pull out of the bottom, pull the top down, and you remove the door. Set that aside. Now we're going to go ahead and remove the top cover. Top cover for the 8 liter, 4 liter bidistiller, same size. The top cover for the 4 liter Fi-Streem 3 is just a little smaller, but it still has the same 2 blanking plugs that you're going to remove from the top. Phillips head screwdriver, 2 Phillips head screws. Just going to go ahead, remove the screws from the front. Once those are loose, you can pop the front up, and in the back are just 2 bolts that are elongated in elongated holes. Just slide it ahead till you find the opening, and then pop the top cover off and remove it. Set that aside. Now once you remove the top cover, this foam insert is just for shipping. You can remove that and discard it. You don't need that anymore. Now this is where we can get to the installation of the heating elements, which is very important. The heating element will be shipped in the box. Once you remove them from the box, each element is going to have plastic union, which you remove the bottom portion of the plastic union. Take that, set your element aside carefully. You're going to remove each of these plastic plugs. Each element comes with this union, which has bottom ring, the split ring, and then the top portion stays with the element. So each one of these that you install, you're going to put the bottom ring down first, then the split ring, your split in there, put that down over top of that boiler section, and then this is ready to accept the top half of the heating element unit. So you slide the element down inside. Once that's down, there's a stop on the element sheath that won't let you go down any further. Once that's stopped, you can bring the bottom part of the union up to the top. You just tighten those 2 together. You don't need any kind of tools to tighten this. This is just to keep it in place. It's not to seal it from water or anything, just steam, but just hand tight. That's all you need. Once you have the element installed in the boiler and you have the union tightened down, you're going to want to move the grommet. Always be careful to move the grommet up and down the cable. Never pull the cable out from inside the glass sheath, because that would actually overheat the element. So always slide the grommet up the cable to get it to the proper spot and location. Slide the grommet into the opening and you're set. So that's the installation on the heating element. And once you get them all installed, you just have to make sure that they're nice and straight. If they're not straight, it could get too close to the over temperature protection device, which is that copper coil. You can actually move these a little bit to kind of turn them so that they go away from there a little bit. So they're more in the center between the outside of the glass boiler and the actual copper over temperature protection switch. Now that you have the elements installed in the boilers, you go on to route the cables down through the back out to the right hand side of the unit so that you can connect them up to the power relay. We're going to go ahead and install the cover back onto the system. As you remember, we had 2 screws in the front that we removed, and we have 2 bolts in the back that set into elongated slots back here. So we're just going to go ahead and locate those elongated slots, put the bolts in them, slide them back. There we go. Line up our front, taking our Phillips screwdriver. We're going to tighten up the bolt. Reinstall our blanking plugs. At this point, we can reinstall our door. Slide the front of it, top of it up inside on the front, bottom slides down, and our door's back in place. Now that we have the 4 heating elements installed into the boiler and the top cover back on, we're going to need to gain access to the right side panel, which is where our power relays are at, and this is where we're going to need to connect up our heating elements. So with a Phillips head screwdriver, remove the 4 screws. Keep the screws because you're going to reuse those. Now that you have the side panel removed, you have access to the 2 power relays into the main terminal block where you can connect up your incoming power to. For the Fi-Streem 3 8 liter per hour system, we have 2 power relays. B, right hand side, A, left hand side. We're going to connect up our left hand elements. There's 2 of them. We got element number 1, element number 2 of the left hand side. So take the blue wire that has the pigtail on element number 1, connect it up to the top connection of the A relay. We're going to take element number 2 blue wire with the pigtail, connect it to the bottom of A relay. Then we're going to take the brown wire from element number 1, connect it down to the bottom pigtail, blue pigtail on the bottom connection, and then element number 2, the brown wire goes to the top connector, blue wire. So they're crisscrossed. Element number 1 blue down here, element number 2 blue down here. The brown wire from element number 2 goes to the top, and the brown wire from element number 1 goes to the bottom connector. So we're just crisscrossing. That's how you connect up for the left-hand side relay. Now that we have the left-hand boiler connected, relay A, we're going to connect up the right-hand elements boiler for relay B. So we take right-hand side, element number 1, element number 2. We take the pigtail, blue wire, element number 1 goes to the top. The blue wire for element number 2 goes to the bottom. We take the brown wire from element number 2, put that to the pigtail on element number 1 blue wire. Element number 1 brown wire is going to go down to element number 2 blue wire. So all we're really doing is we're just crisscrossing the blue and the brown. And that's how you connect up the right hand side relay to relay B. Your power inlet to the 8 liter and the 4 liter biodistillers, they do not come with a cord. The other units do come with a cord, but because of the current draw on this unit, it's not supplied with a cord. So what we do is you're going to have a certified electrician install hardware to the still, which gets routed through this hole and opening, and then down through here. And this is your connector for your incoming power. These 2 connectors right here, this terminal block. That's your incoming power. And that's how you connect up the 8 liter and the 4 liter biodistiller. Once you have the heating elements installed onto the power relays, and you will have a certified electrician connect up the electrical to the terminal block, you can put your side panel back on. Now we're going to install the inlet tubing. Remove the red cap. This is your inlet, this symbol for inlet water. You're going to need to put in the strainer, so you take out the old gasket, put in the new gasket with the strainer, and then install your water line. You may need to tighten it with a lock wrench. Now for our drain, remove the red cap for the drain. And the drain, we do not need a strainer. That's just going to go immediately to an atmospheric drain. There's your drain symbol. Then your drain's installed and your inlet's installed. Now we're going to connect up the float switch that comes with the still for automatic operation with a tank that is not supplied. You have the 4-pin connector, the float switch itself. 4-pin connector slides onto the connector of the still. It has a locking ring that you twist a quarter turn to lock the connector into place so it doesn't come off. And then you've got the float switch itself, which would connect up into the tank. And that's what will give you the automatic operation for the still. Thanks for watching. At LabStrong, we are committed to making your lab life easier. For additional assistance, please contact the experts at LabStrong.